crafters, and welcome to Creative Moments by G. I'm Georgia and so happy that you're with us today. We will be working with flowering rain boots. It is such a fantastic stamp set. We know you're going to love it. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Let me show you what we're working with today. Oh my goodness. Do you see this beautiful lattice right here? We have actually made this look like an embossing folder, but it's not. It's a die. So we want to show you how to use this bundle and actually make this look like an embossing folder. So the first thing you're going to need to do is go ahead and get your base card. And your base card is simply 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Now we need to go ahead and work on the actual card. We've decided to go ahead and use just plain white paper as our first mat. And we are going to use our die set to cut out this beautiful design that's going to make it look like that you used an embossed folder. Now, we have already cut those out and we're going to show you how to put them on. So we have cut out about 5 of those designs and we are simply going to lay them down about 3/4 of the way on the first mat. Now, there's several ways you can do that. You can use your Nouveau pen to go ahead and put glue on the back and adhere it to your mat. Or you can get some glue and you can simply add it to your silicone mat because we know that it won't stick to your silicone mat, right? And you can take a sponge dauber. Now you need to make sure and mark this as glue so that you don't try to use it on anything else. But go ahead and make sure you have these the right way because one side is very flat and the other side is raised. And all we need to do is just get a little bit of glue and dab it right there on the corners. Now you'll probably need to go back in and get some more glue. We simply start at the top and we're going to lay it. Now you want to make sure and center it about the same distance. Now look at where we're centering it on each side because you will be cutting it off. So see, we have about the same distance on each side. Now we're going to need to add a lot more glue than that to use. So we're simply going to make sure we have the right side. Stay with us till the end because we have some lovely cards to show you that I think will inspire you to use this stamp set or really any stamp set that you have. Now we're going to line that up again, and all you need to do is just get some glue on the tips of those triangles. And you can really use those points to help guide you line up the rest of your images. And so now we have it. We're going to save this one for the inside. It's going to be quite pretty. So go ahead and make sure that they're glued down and take your scissors that are Teflon coated or whichever ones you want to use so that the glue doesn't stick to it. Go ahead and turn it on its back and just cut off the edges. And look at that. Just perfect. Now, we are also going to add some DSP. You could add a mat right here that you have embossed, but we're not going to do that. We're going to go ahead and just use some DSP. And we're also going to bring in some ribbon so you don't have to worry about that space that you have right here. So let's go ahead and add that to the front of our mat. So now we're going to put that to the side and we are simply going to bring in some white paper and we are going to stamp just a little bit. Now we're going to bring in Poppy Parade and we are going to stamp 2 sets of our tulips. Such a beautiful color. We are going to stamp our leaves in Garden Green. And we are going to stamp our pots, our little pots that come with the set, in Early Espresso. So now I am going to cut these out and I'll be right back. Okay, so we are ready to add our flowers to our first mat. So we're going to just add some plants right here. And we're just going to put it right there because we are going to bring in a beautiful green ribbon and put that right over the plants so you won't even see it. So let's go ahead and just put some glue on the back. And make sure you don't go over this mat. Let's go ahead and add our ribbon to our card. And we are just going to put a nice thin line of adhesive right here. Just hold it down. Make sure you don't see the bottom of that leaf. Now we're going to turn it upside down and we're just going to use a little bit of a tape runner to adhere that to the back of the card. Now we can cut off the extra. Okay. And we are ready to add this to the front of our card. Now we're going to use wet glue so that we have a little bit of time to move it around just in case we need to. And now we are going to add our plants. We need to add a pot right here. And then we'll need another one right here that we'll set up on dimensionals, just like that. So let's go ahead and add this pot. And we're just going to add a dimensional to the back of these leaves. Just going to line it up right here on the pot. And now we're going to bring this one in and add a dimensional to the back. Okay, and we simply need to add our beautiful tulips. Now we're going to put this one under here and just add that. And we're simply going to add a few mini dimensionals on this. Line it up with your leaves. Make sure you keep it within your base card. And now we're going to glue this to the top of those leaves because they're already raised with dimensionals. So we're just going to add some glue bits right there on the end of those leaves and push it down. And we've already stamped our sentiment and we have used "You're in my thoughts today." And we thought we would go ahead and just stamp it and then put a border around it in Old Olive. I think that really adds to it, and we're going to add it right here to the front of our card. So just put a little bit of glue. And now I have one more thing to show you that really makes it pop. We are going to add a mat to the inside. And we're going to add a white mat as well. Now, before we add this mat, though, we are going to take one of these beautiful images and we're just going to line it up right here at the bottom. So we're going to put just a little bit of glue, use our dauber again, just go right on the little points and line it up right at the bottom. Make sure you're lining up right in the center as much as possible. We're going to cut that off using our scissors that the glue will not stick to because we don't want to mess up our nice scissors. So we bought some just for this purpose. And now we are going to use our Take Your Pick tool and we are going to just paper piece some of these triangles. Now go ahead and just put a little bit of glue in each triangle. And just to give it some beautiful color, we're going to go ahead and use our Poppy Parade. We're going to bring in a Old Olive, another Poppy Parade. Make sure you have the right side. One is raised and one is flat. Old Olive. and Poppy Parade. And oh my goodness, doesn't that add a beautiful decoration at the bottom? Now we're ready to add this to the inside of our card. Now, because we're using DSP, we thought it would be so much fun to go ahead and decorate our envelope. So the way we decorate our envelope is we simply add glue to this right here, the back of the flap. Very quick, but yet makes such a statement. And just lay it down. Line it up right on the edge. And now flip it over and simply cut around the envelope. And look at this set. Isn't that just gorgeous? Oh my goodness. And it truly looks like you have embossed this top area, but we only use the image cutout, the die that comes with the set. So if you have some creative dies, think about using them for this. We took another one and we simply added some big flowers. So if you don't have tulips, use whatever flowers that you have. And we decorated it as well. I think this really adds to the card. The next one, we took some DSP. We added that as our first mat. Really brought it to life. And then added those beautiful flowers right in the center. We took another white card. We did our embossing trick. We added those beautiful flowers. We use this label die to go ahead and just put our sentiment. So pretty. And finally, we decided to go ahead and adhere our image here, but emboss this bottom panel and use our boots that come with the set. Which one is your favorite? Let us know in your comments below. Well, we hope you enjoyed this card. We loved making this card, and we love that creative technique of taking that image and just creating what looks like that you used an embossed folder on the front. And then also paper piecing some of those items back in on the inside cover really adds interest to the card. We sure would love a thumbs up. Subscribe to our channel and share with your crafting friends. Help us grow our channel. Go out and have a fantastic day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.